Hello, everyone. I'm Ed Khalili from Founders Legal and Junior Patent AI, and I'm here as part of the 2025 Global October IP Kickoff hosted by GIPA. I have the privilege today of speaking with Bhavya Alapati, an extraordinary young inventor, and the winner of the GIPA Young Inventors Award. This award is sponsored by Founders Legal, and through it, we're proud to provide legal assistance to help young inventors like Bhavya protect their innovations and bring those ideas to life. Thanks for joining us, Bhavya. Bhavya, your journey is very inspiring. Can you share how your own experiences with hemiplegic migraines led you to start researching strokes and stroke mimetics?
Yeah, so I have been inventing since I was in around third grade, and this would be for issues I observed around me. And it wasn't until I was diagnosed with a rare neurological condition when I was a sophomore called hemiplegic migraines. Hemiplegic migraines is a stroke mimic. So I was looking into hemiplegic migraines as a stroke mimic, and as a patient who has a stroke mimic, we share a lot of the symptoms that patients with stroke have. Unfortunately, stroke patients experience these very long-term and much more severely than a patient with hemiplegic migraines. So I became interested in stroke conditions and how we can prevent a stroke instead of trying to mitigate the stroke after it's already occurred, because these patients are often left with long-term paralysis, like they have to relearn how to speak, walk, and eat. So preventing the stroke long-term could help to minimize, first of all, maximize the amount of lives saved, and also maximize the quality of life for these patients. So I became interested when I was a sophomore, and I was applying these talents that I had since third grade, like inventing, into strokes. And the difference is that I included a lot more scientific research rather than just engineering, so that I could present at these different competitions like science fair and invention convention. So it allowed me to kind of focus in, because I was always interested in neuroscience, kind of find a topic that I really loved and focus in on that, and use my talents in engineering and biomedical engineering and apply it to an interest I had.
Oh, that's wonderful. A lot of students may not know even where to begin with research, particularly, complicated research like stroke mimetics. If you were advising other high school students who's interested in research but doesn't know where to start, what would you tell them?
Yeah, so I think a big part of my success so far was that I truly love researching strokes. Like, I spent day and night researching this. I love doing what I love to do. Like, I wouldn't spend my time any other way. I think for a high schooler who wants to start research, they need to choose a topic that's personal and that they truly love. And they need to be able to spend months, because ultimately I spent months and years on these projects. So they need to choose a project that they're going to take long term, that they want to create a real impact in, and that they believe that, first of all, they have the resources for. And I think that's where GIPA and all of these awards come in to help support these inventors as soon as they want to start inventing, as soon as they have a great idea that they can put into motion.
That's absolutely correct. So you've led a lot of impressive projects focused on stroke-related conditions and prevention and whatnot. What about that excites you? What about that work you've done so far excites you the most?
Yeah, so it's personal to me because, again, I have a stroke mimic condition. And for a long time, I felt like there was no options for me. I felt helpless because there's no medication, because I have a rare condition. So I was basically living without a cure. And for a lot of these stroke patients, they take years and lifelong care and rehabilitation to get back to the state where they were at before. I think what excited me was like seeing the numbers, like 795,000 people have a stroke in America every single year. So like seeing these numbers, thinking that I could perhaps reduce these numbers, first of all, like 1 in 4 stroke patients get a repeat stroke. I feel like our care is more focused on mitigating a stroke rather than trying to prevent it. And I feel the part that I love the most was thinking that I can make a difference, help these patients, even if it's like one patient, that's one life. And I have that perspective about being that one person whose life was affected.
Yes, strokes are hard to predict, and because there's people that you don't think would get strokes or have a stroke condition, and and before you know it, they're suffering. So you've earned a lot of honors. Let's just take a quick run through them. Most importantly, the Georgia Intellectual Property Alliance Young Inventor Award, the STEM Up Award winner, Georgia Bio Genius winner, selected to be International Bio Genius finalist, which is the largest high school biotech competition, awarded and spoke at Georgia Life Sciences Summit. I'm sure a lot of our viewers were there. Second place for 11th grade National Invention Competition, Sienna Solutions International Sustainability Awarder. Your superlative was Best Idea. First place, Thomas Jefferson Pitch Competition, Top 50 High School Academic Research Competition, Toshiba National Exploration Competition, honorable mention, 2022, 2025, 2024, first place, Georgia State Technology Fair for Medical, Barbara James National Service Award, and last but not least, Presidential Volunteer Service Award. That's a lot. Out of all those accomplishments, which one has been the most meaningful for you? No wrong answers.
No, I actually think that GIPA is the most meaningful long term, because I have won money for a lot of these competitions, a few of them. I've won a few $1,000s, but with GIPA, I not only got funding towards my project, but I also got like an amazing attorney. I'm able to get a patent as a high schooler and protect my rights, because a lot of the times high school projects, they don't make it after the year. After they attend these competitions, they don't make it, they're dropped. Because it's hard for high schoolers to have resources to continue their projects long term. Now that I have a patent, I sort of have something to go based off of in the future, and have a basis for me to continue my project on in the future. That was the most important part for me, not winning competitions so that I could have awards. The most important part for me was that I could continue this in the future, because again, it is truly what I love to do.
It does make, candidly makes the economy move forward. And that's why, GIPA and Founders Legal are doing our part to help students realize that. You also founded and lead your school's research club, helping your peers discover things to research and whatnot. What has that taught you about leadership?
Yeah, so when I started research, I originally knew a lot about stroke research, and kids would come up to me, my members would come up to me, and they'd be like, Bhavya, how did you make such a project? Bhavya, how did you do this? And I tell them, really, all I had was a passion, because again, I was doing this while I was at home. I wasn't even in school at that point because I was too sick to go to school. I just started this project 2 years ago, or started researching strokes 2 years ago at home. All I had was a passion. All I had was a drive, really. And as long as you have something, you choose something that you really love to do, you'll find a way to do it, I feel like. And the research world is so broad. It is very broad. You'll find something that you truly love to do. You'll find something that you're able to pursue as a high schooler. And factoring that in, of course, is very important. What can I do as a high schooler? So you need to look at your resources, and you need to look into what you really truly love to do. And my school has a biotechnology lab, so that was very essential towards my research as well.
Very nice. Now turning to intellectual property. At what point did you realize that your research could be more than just a school project, and that it could possibly get patented?
I always wanted to make my project more than just like a high school project. I hadn't considered having a patent though. When I started this project, I never imagined that I'd have a patent 2 years from now, or even at the beginning of this year, I never thought, or last year, I never thought that I'd have a patent. By then I'd be patent pending. So I think that I realized this really when I was looking at other inventors. First of all, when you go to so many competitions like I've went to over a dozen in the past year, you see all these other projects, you see how these people are applying themselves to their projects. And again, it's very, very hard as a high schooler to take your project past a year and over into your career when you're an adult. It's very difficult, but from investors and from foundations and awards like how GIPA has an award for high schoolers, it makes it possible for us to actually get a patent long term and look into our options and see how exactly we can take our project to the next steps.
Yeah, so we're hoping that your story inspires other high school students to pursue intellectual property and patents. So many people are surprised that that high schoolers can apply for patents and get patents. What was the biggest surprise for you in discovering that process?
I think the biggest surprise for me was thinking that the patent application itself, that there would be like attorneys and grants given to students, like high school students, taking them and taking their idea and actually looking into them and trying to make them happen. Because again, as a high schooler, it's very difficult to take a project and get a patent or get a patent pending. I think the difficulties for me was actually imagining getting a patent. I saw it as sort of like a scary process. And with people to help navigate with these younger inventors, people who could help navigate these younger inventors, I believe that a lot more younger inventors would be able to get patents.
Wonderful, yeah. So as the GIPA Young Inventor Award winner, you've received legal support from Founders Legal. How has that support helped you move your innovation forward?
Yeah, so the support, first of all, the award itself, the grant, helped me in my patent, because I would not have gotten a patent. I hadn't even thought about getting a patent until I won this award, and I had so many options now. But it was not just the money, it's just how Mr. Khalili, because as an attorney, he worked tirelessly to make sure that I had my application. As a high schooler, I was guided correctly into how to apply for a patent, because obviously I don't know everything about applying for a patent before this. So I think this award has helped me in more ways than one. It's helped me, first of all, even consider getting a patent. It's helped provide funds, because again, as a high schooler, it's very difficult if you're paying tens of thousands of dollars for a patent. And then third of all, like providing service and providing the guidance. Like there's so many things that this award has done to actually help me get a patent.
Well, it's been a pleasure and honor to work with you. Of course, we're at the very beginning of the patenting process, and it is a bit of a long process. So we're thankful and glad that you're going to be dedicated, and we're going to try to help you see it all the way through, from application, patent pending, to all the way to filing. And finally, for other young people who might be listening to your story, what advice would you give them about the importance of protecting your ideas?
Yeah, so like I mentioned before, I attended like over a dozen competitions in the past year. And each competition I'd go to, I'd present my project, I'd have my research journal, and every single time I'd be warned by people like, oh, protect your idea. There are people who might take your idea and try to recreate it. There are people who might take your idea, try to create something similar. So I think getting a patent for me allowed me to have much more freedom in where I present my project, how I speak about my story into stroke research, and how I took like my weakness and turned it into something much more. It provided me a lot more freedom on where I presented, how I present. Just protecting your idea in general is important when you're showcasing your innovation or whatever you're trying to patent. And it also provides a basis because when I attended the Georgia Life Sciences Summit, the first thing that a lot of these investors ask me is, do you have IP? Do you have a patent? And so getting a patent is important, whether you're a high schooler or you're not a high schooler in innovation, because it's the first step towards actually making your product marketable or actually making it a real thing.
It takes a lot of investment to take something from idea to commercialization, research, testing, development. There's a lot of it. So I'm glad you've been exposed to that and understand the role that patents and IP plays in our world. Thank you so much, Bhavya. Thank you for sharing your story with us. It's so inspiring to see how you've turned personal challenges into potentially groundbreaking research.
Yeah, and I think that I didn't require anything else except my passion to get started. And so this is what I always say to my members in my club. As long as you have an idea and as long as you love what you truly do, anybody could do something like what I did.
Well, thank you again. So on behalf of GIPA and Founders Legal, congratulations on your incredible achievement. Thank you for reminding us that why it's important to support the next generation of our innovators.
Thank you.
Thanks.